let's be honest. There are definitely times I bet you just don't feel like singing. Maybe you're in church and the worship time starts and lyrics are up and you know that feeling, right? That decision, am I going to sing? I don't feel like it, but I feel like I should. I think I should. Or even more, perhaps difficult, in a home group, like the one you're gathering in, and they start singing, or why don't we feel like it sometimes, or maybe most of the time? It's a question in your groups to start wrestling with, because the text that we're in 1 Chronicles chapter 16 verses 8 through 13, it lists 11 commands relating to worship, praising God and singing, and we need to wrestle with what is the cause? Maybe what are some of the reasons? What are our experiences around when we feel like singing and when we don't? Now, as you look through this passage together in your group, one way to start wrestling with these things is to identify each of those commands, maybe highlight them or circle them, and then group these commands in two different groups. Group the commands that are about vocalization, and those will be in like verses 8 through 9. And then group the commands that are more reflective elements, and that will be in verses 10 to 13. And as you're discussing this as a group, as you're looking at those two lists of commands in this passage, then start thinking about what is the relationship between these commands, and the vocal and the reflective. Is there an order that they happen in? Are they related somehow together? Are they not related? I'm curious to see what your discussions will contain as you look at those things together, and then go through the list thinking specifically, like, what does it look like for me to glory, to exult in God's holy name? What does that mean? Verse 10, or the second half of verse 10, let your hearts rejoice. It's a command to your heart. What does it mean for me to command my heart to rejoice in the Lord? Or what does it look like for you to seek the Lord and His strength and His presence continually? And why do you need to do that? But I challenge you to consider together how you can apply what this text says and what you've been discussing. One way could be, as you're praying in a group together, pray through each of these commands and convert them into a request. God, would you help me, for example, to help my heart to rejoice even when I don't feel like it? Or you could include a time of singing. It's maybe outside of the box, but you could sing the doxology. Praise God from whom all blessings flow. Or sing another hymn or a worship song that your group knows. But apply what you're seeing in the text as a way of worshiping God with obedience and in faith, and pray together. And I hope your discussions are encouraging.